Hi guys and gals, Froggy here. I noticed down at the bottom of my radiator, this is my '04 Corvette Z06, and I noticed that there was some little coolant wetness down there. I'm not going to show you that, it's just a little dampness. You guys can figure out what coolant wet on the bottom of the radiator looks like. Anyway, I traced it, I believe, up until these two hoses which attach at the top of the radiator, and this is a pair of pliers that I used to get those clamps off. These clamps are pretty good. I like these clamps. They're like self-tightening clamps. You don't have to worry about taking a screwdriver to the other type of clamps. These I really prefer. One of the lines goes to this one here, goes right to the pressurized coolant tank, right? So that's fine. The other one, I believe, is throttle body coolant line, because it goes over there. And I am not going to take this off to show it to you. Just take my word for it. That's goes to the throttle body. You run coolant through the throttle body. In cold conditions in Fargo, North Dakota, it prevents carbureted ice, or it prevents this intake area from icing up. Doesn't do much actually, and a lot of people disconnect it if you're in a warm climate. But that's where that one goes. So what I'm going to do is just take these two loose. One of them I already squeezed it and got it back off. The other one I'll do. And I'm going to cut off about, I don't know, half an inch maybe off each of these hoses, and then I'm going to reattach them. What that does is it gives you a fresh bite, or a fresh connection, a fresh seal, let's call it, to the hose, and I think that'll fix it. If you wanted to go crazy, you could replace these hoses. This car's, you know, it's not that old, and well, I mean, it's an '04, so I guess it's getting older. But I'm going to try this before I start replacing the whole damn hose. Okay, so I'll show you. There you can see I've got them both backed way off. Now I'm just going to wiggle and jiggle and twist those to get them off. I might have to take a little, sorry, I don't know what happened there, but my recording shut down. I might have to take a little screwdriver and get behind this and gently pry that off, or it might come off just by twisting. Let's see. And before you do that, relieve the pressure off the system by taking this cap off. Now, do not do this while the engine is hot. You'll get a bath of coolant. You won't enjoy it. This car's been sitting for a couple hours, so it's cooled down, but I'm just going to take that off. I felt a little, just a little bit of pressure come out of there. So now I know there's no pressure. This is a pressurized tank. I might get a little dribble out of there when I disconnect them, but, you know, I don't really care. You won't lose much coolant. There you can see it's running off a little bit. Maybe I'll try to plug it. But that's just what's at the top of the radiator. I just kind of pried and pulled at the same time. So Froggy wasn't actually quick enough to get anything to plug it, so it only dripped out, I would say, maybe not even a half a quart, maybe a half a pint or 3/4 of a pint. Anyway, I just threw some newspapers down on the floor, and now I got to get that other one out. There shouldn't be very much come out of the other one because they're right next to each other. Okay, so they're both off. Now I'm just going to take a knife and cut. See, this part here is not going to get compressed by anything. So if I cut to like right in the middle of this that was compressed before, then from there to there is just going to be excess, and there to there, and then my bite will start right here on a fresh piece of hose, and you got to think about the inside of the hose, not so much the outside of the hose. So I'm trying to get a fresh seal, a fresh inside diameter. You know what I mean? To the inside of the hose. Put a little piece of wood down there to cut on. And then I got a little Stanley, is it? Yeah, these are great tools. It's like $5. Can store a bunch of razor blades in there. I just flipped that so I got a fresh blade. So let's trim it. Okay, so I got them both trimmed back. And just happened to notice, actually, these are two different size hoses by a little bit. So I was just pointing that out to you guys and gals. Now I'm gonna take a little green scrubby pad and clean up around these fittings. Yeah, this is the one that was leaking. You can tell by there's some corrosion, not corrosion, but some buildup of crud around there. And then slide these back on and slide the clamps back up. So, focus, there we go. It's all nice and clean. And yeah, I'm not going to put any sealant or anything there. You're not supposed to have to do that. So, we just shove that on there all the way up. And I'm going to move this. I'll have to put my tool on it to expand it and then get it over there. And I'll do the same on the other one. Now here's something weird. Check me out on this. I know, and I think you can see, that these hoses are slightly different. To me, the one on the, yeah, sure, look at the outside diameters. The inside might be the same, I don't know. But the outside on that one is definitely bigger. But look at the connections there. They're the same size. Now, this is an aftermarket radiator. And I think it's okay, because actually, I mean, it's okay the way the guy built the radiator. Because this is the one that was leaking, and that's the smaller one. But like I said, it might be the same inside diameter. I don't know. Just a little bit weird. I like to point that stuff out to you. Now you see where the hose bulges a little bit. That's where that little ridge is on the inside, the metal connection. So you got to get your clamp past that. All right, the whole clamp has to be past that little detail. I know somebody's going to post a comment and say, Froggy, you go on too long and you talk too much, but I like to give you details. So find another channel if you don't like it. I'm having trouble getting the clamp on far enough, and I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do. The hose is not, of course, slippery. It's kind of not sticky rubber, but it's old rubber. I'm going to put some like silicone grease. I'm going to back the clamp off, put some silicone grease on there, and then see if I can slide it on more. It needs to be almost another ½ inch more. And I think we're good there. Get them on all the way. I can see and feel the little bulgy part there. And there. And they're shoved on all the way. So I think that'll work. If anything, this silicone will actually allow these clamps to tighten a little bit more, just a touch more. So what I'm going to do is go underneath and spray some brake cleaner on all that residue of leaky coolant, and then I'll running it tomorrow in an event, and I'll check it afterwards and see if it's good or not. Anyway, give me a thumbs up or a like if you want more from Froggy. Subscribe to my channel. Thumbs up and a like if this helps you out. And subscribe to my channel, mostly automotive, but I also throw in a little bit of everything else that interests me. See you later, guys and gals. Froggy out. Bye-bye.